name is Joshua Hawkins. I've got TJ Dinzer, our news editor. I have Blake Morse, our reviews editor, on the line with me. And I also have a couple of special guests from Phoenix Labs. Andy Burt, the game's PR manager.
What's going on?
And we also have Nick Clifford, the director of marketing for the game.
Hey, everyone.
Yeah, thanks for having us on the show.
Yeah, no, we're super excited to have you guys here. Sorry about the technical difficulties, guys. I don't know what happened there.
It wouldn't be a live stream without technical difficulties.
Right?
Yeah. That's the truth. That's the truth. Anyways, so Nick, can you tell us a little bit about this so people know exactly what we're looking at here?
Yeah, totally. So we're going to be checking out the latest expansion in Dauntless today. It's called Call of the Void, and it drops on June 11th, so a couple days away. And in this expansion, we're adding a ton of new features. The first of which is the training island that we're all on today. And really, the training island is a space where players can come together, test out any of the weapons in the game, really deep dive on the combat and the meta, really perfect their builds alongside their hunting party before they go into prime time and go on a hunt. So we're just getting warmed up before we jump into an Escalation Run, which is another new feature that we're adding in this patch. We've been doing escalation seasons since December of last year. This will be our third one, and this one is themed around Umbral, which is our dark spooky stuff element in the game. So there'll be a couple surprises, a couple new behemoths to check out as well, and we're gonna jump in and hopefully not get our butts handed to us.
No promises.
No promises.
No. Here we got a ringer on the team, so I think we're gonna be
okay. TJ, I think you'll be carrying us through this run.
I'm gonna do my best.
Yeah.
So
It's all up to you, TJ.
So we've already got a question in the chat.
Sure.
T7 wants to know: are you all going to add Enrage, Ether Charge, Stagger State on testing dummies? Are you going to add those things?
Great question. Came up after we started talking about training mode a bit more over the weekend. The teams got the feedback, and it's something we're super interested in doing. We don't have any specific dates just yet, but yeah, super interested in adding that for sure.
Yeah, this is, and to Nick's point, this is kind of like our first iteration of the training ground, so definitely lots more to come.
Yeah,
I love these makeshift behemoths are adorable.
Yeah,
they are really adorable.
The Drask wagons.
I'm on a journey to hopefully get little mini Drask statues made out of the carts. That would be rad. But,
I want versions of these covered in floral arrangements for like a Dauntless Day parade.
That would be great.
I'm into it.
Yeah.
Just over here min-maxing my power cells.
Oh yeah.
So obviously you'll notice we all loaded in together, which is super cool. So even once you figure out kind of your own combos and your own strategy, you do load in with your party as well as other players. So you can see how other players use weapons and builds you might be interested in. And you can really min-max with your whole party together on your builds. You've got everything from attack lists and combos to damage counters, including specific types of damage you're doing. So it's really a great place to kind of perfect and hone your build.
It's a good place to play Xylobones too.
Thank you for the ambiance, Andy.
So it's almost like the X-Men Danger Room.
Yeah, totally. Exactly.
Yeah, this is where you can work on your strategies, your attack techniques.
Yeah.
Damn, Danger Room is such a better term. We're changing the name from Training Grounds to Danger Room.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and Andy's getting Slack messages from Dave and Ryan.
Yeah. Speed 6 God wants to know if there's going to be any guild feature updates.
We have a whole team focused on social right now. This patch also includes a pretty hefty visual update to the social panel, just making it much easier to navigate and kind of draw in real time. Guilds are something that we're also very interested in expanding on. We have kind of I think the foundation of what guilds are, and we really want to expand that, and just kind of what more broadly what shared success and shared goals and shared rewards are in Dauntless as well.
I'm getting us loaded into an Umbrella Escalation now.
Oh, cool.
I assume we're all pretty happy with our builds.
Yeah, I'm feeling
Yes.
good.
Sweet.
As happy as I can be without putting hours into it.
Yeah. Now, with the training grounds, can you simulate builds with items you don't have, like cells you don't have, or weapons and armor that aren't available? Do you know? Is this an area where you can test those out?
So currently, you only load in with the equipment that you have.
Okay, fair enough. Metal Man 78 wants to know, how is the new dodging going to work?
So we've made some pretty substantial updates to how dodging works in Dauntless. You'll notice if you dodge in the latest update, your character glows blue very briefly, and that is letting you know when you're invulnerable in your dodge. And
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, we've made some changes just to how dodging happens and is recognized between the game and the servers to make sure that what you see as a player is what happens. So things like latency, input delay, and all that kind of stuff hopefully doesn't feel as present when you're dodging.
Yeah, like I've been playing for quite some time, but I certainly have taken a break for a bit. But like dodging is one of those things where, like, in a lot of games, and not just Dauntless, it's kind of nebulous as to where the invulnerability window is.
Mm-hmm.
That is super helpful to kind of just like have that visual cue.
Yeah, and we added another feature that we call the journal to this update as well. In addition to collecting entries on every behemoth in the game, a lot of the characters that you'll meet along the way in your journey, it also gives a full overview of all the combat mechanics in Dauntless as well. Iframes or invulnerability frames and dodging being one of them, including what is stagger, what is wound, what are all the different damage types, how do I cause it. We really made an effort to help arm and equip players with all the information, so they don't, to your point, have to kind of figure it out on their own.
All right, it's all happening, boys.
Yeah. So,
Well, we're loading in. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, if anyone's unfamiliar, Escalation is a newer game mode, as I mentioned, and it takes the behemoth hunting theme and kind of flips it on its head, where instead of fighting one behemoth and returning to Ramsgate with our spoils, we are challenged to fight several behemoths in a row. They will be randomized. They will have randomized modifiers, and it culminates into a fight with a brand new behemoth. And since this is Umbral Escalation, it looks like our first behemoth is Rift Stalker. Ouch.
Seems appropriate.
Yeah, seems very appropriate. So again, the supplies we loaded in with are the only ones we'll get, so we're going to have to make them last through several encounters. Rift Stalkers, one of our... Oh boy, it's going to pull us into the Murder Palace.
Yep.
He's one of our more
Welcome to pain.
Yeah, one of our more agile behemoths who can be tough to pin down, but if you manage to time and attack correctly, you can stagger him. Nice. Just like that. One of the modifiers that we have this hunt is Sweet Spot as well. You can see that's kind of indicated on the behemoth's back right leg there. So if we hit that, we do bonus damage.
Ready.
Nice. Oh, he's enraged.
No.
Oh, nice.
Now, we have a question from Noxic. We saw in an image of your roadmap. Can you confirm that you will have the archer weapon?
Yes, we did kind of tease out the next weapon. It's still very much in production and in development, so we don't have any specifics around when. We have a couple other player combat priorities that we want to get through first, but we are working on a new weapon and kind of revisiting some of our older weapons as well right now.
Nice. Let's see. Pants of the Mister wants to know, can any of
Great
you guys
name.
talk about... Yeah, I do like that name. Can any of you guys talk about fishing? I'm really excited for it.
Oh, I'm very excited for it.
Yep, so that's one of our many new mini games that we'll be adding. Not in this update just yet, but it will be coming later this summer. And really what you're going to see in Call of the Void is the introduction of what we're calling the evolving narrative. And for us, we realized, having done a couple escalation seasons and a series of hunt passes, that a lot of these updates existed kind of in discrete chunks. Like if you're playing Blaze Escalation right now and fighting Torgadoro, there isn't really a threaded narrative connecting that to your main story progression or really to the rest of the Shattered Isles. And that's going to change on Call of the Void. So events that happen in this escalation season will have kind of lasting repercussions for Ramsgate and the people of it. This is all to say sky fishing is coming, and a handful of other mini games in a future update. And we're super excited to get it out there.
Nice. Zyro God had a couple follow-up questions about that. Will you be able to slowly rank up your fishing, making it something long-term you can work on, or is it more based on luck? Also, will you sell these fish, and will they have any effect on gameplay other than that?
Those are all great questions. I unfortunately am not close enough to sky fishing to know that. Maybe Andy does, but
I'm not sure either. But yeah, we'll see if someone we popped the stream into our Slack, so we should have a bunch of folks from Phoenix hopefully in chat. Maybe one of them is smarter than both of us.
All right, we got.
Oh God, this is a bad matchup.
We got this. Let's definitely take care of the Umbral Nazaga first, though, because trying to deal with Boreas armor and him is going to be a nightmare.
All right, is TJ holding it down for you guys?
Oh yeah, we breezed through the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yep.
Just making sure.
Took me a second, but I remember all my combos.
All right, we got some ads floating around too.
And this is just the second fight. This is already looking brutal.
Yeah, we got this. So, Nazaga here, typically a shock behemoth, for those that have played him. Know that he usually uses a variety of electric attacks, thunderstorms, totems. This is his Umbral version, so he forgoes that element in favor of Umbral, and as you can see, uses a lot of portals, a lot of misdirections, some clones here and there. But he's one of 3 new variants that we're adding for Umbral Escalation.
Nice. Highfire X1 wants to know, do Umbral and Radiant have elemental effects like fire, slow, or heal? Or well, only one of those was elemental.
Yeah, so all the elements in Dauntless, there's 6 total. They all interact with each other, so...
Oh, nice done.
Nice. Fire is strong against ice. Terra is strong against shock and vice versa, and then Umbral and Radiant have same relationship as well. So we're all using Radiant weapons to kind of give us a leg up, and every element does have its own effect in the game as well.
Nice. Let's see. Captain Shenanigans 5 wants to know, do you know what escalation you're going to do next?
We are already working on it. I don't have much to share past that, but we've actually already started production on the next new behemoth, and we're already starting to scope out what the escalation season is after that as well.
Nice.
Yeah, the behemoth for the next escalation is incredible. I'll just say that.
Oh, I'm excited. I gotta say, like, and we'll get to see it some, obviously, like, once we get there. But, like, as we talked about in the preview event that I have with you guys, like, I'm a very big fan of the design that you guys have done with Thrax. Just the way that it moves, the way that it choreographs its attacks, everything like that. Like, it's just really, really well done. So I'm excited to see
It's
what
got
you
a
guys
lot of
do next.
personality.
Yeah,
Yeah, it does.
Appreciate that. He's going
Let's
rage
see.
again.
Oh man.
And then Zergo, are you planning on making something like an ultimate escalation with only escalation bosses?
Ooh.
Ooh, that's a good
I
idea.
like the sound of that, like extra hard mode. That's a great suggestion. Definitely, that could be cool.
So nothing on the horizon, but maybe now that it's been brought up, now,
Yeah, I mean,
now it might be on the table.
we love feedback and we love doing things like this to hear that kind of
Right.
feedback. We try to be as open and transparent as possible. So yeah, hearing feedback like that, definitely keep it coming.
Yeah, nothing planned though.
All right, so High Fire Excellence is so Umbral and Radiant now do something after hitting a lot. When I said fire slow heal, fire burns ice slows, tear heal, shock paralyzes, Umbral and Radiant now have an elemental debuff.
Oh, so he's asking like what, like specifically does Radiant and Umbral, like,
Yeah.
that they have like an extra effect on top?
I
Yeah.
know Umbral corrupts you if you get hit by it. I run with ice on my build on live, so I haven't actually used a ton of Umbral and Radiant. Andy, do you know what the elemental modifiers are for him?
I'm not really sure.
Well, let's see. Let's move on then. Speed 6 God wants to know: is there any news on Cells 2.0?
Yep, we're actually working on an update on Cells 2.0 now. I don't have anything to share around specific dates or scope of the work, but we do want to revisit the cell system as it's something that we introduced quite a long time ago. And even more recently, as we've seen Iceborne kind of become like top of the meta, we want to make sure that cells are a way to augment and enhance your abilities, but it doesn't become too stale in the process. So we make like any one build that's too good.
I'm gonna take care of some of these spitters.
We got bombers too.
Oh great.
And then, let's see. Which orbs do you get from the patrol bonus in Umbral Escalation?
I think it depends on which escalation you do. So whether it's Blaze, Shock, or Umbral, and then it depends on the difficulty as well.
Nice. Then Key 7, do you guys plan on adding Ether Charged magic weapon?
Ether charged magic weapon. Yeah, I mean, let's.
It's an interesting one.
Sorry, I'm just picking up my perk really quick. Yeah, it's super interesting. I mean, magic is something that kind of comes up often as we talk about our world and our universe. And Aether is not quite magic, but is kind of this substance that allows things like airships, the behemoths, the slayers to kind of capture their raw power. So I wouldn't call it magic like in the traditional sense, but we are always working on new weapon concepts and new ideas, and it's something that our player combat team is super focused on.
Yeah, the Aether Strikers kind of started out a little bit along those lines and then shifted as they went further into development.
All right, so what we got here
Ooh.
is Umbral Rask, another variant on an existing behemoth. Okay,
Yep, I got tail swiped.
and as you can see, he likes to use gravity to his advantage. Fun fact, Rask was the first behemoth we ever created as a studio.
So he was kind of the one that started it all off then.
He was the one that started it all.
I remember this guy. I remember this guy long time ago, like several E3s ago, when you guys were just getting started.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember coming into
Oh no.
a loft room.
I gotcha.
Oh yeah, that was when we
Had his
did E3 sort of off the show floor, and we
Yeah.
we rented out like
It was right.
was it like an Airbnb or something, Nick?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
right before our closed beta.
Yeah, that was good times. That's so long ago. It's amazing how far the game has come since then. You
Thanks.
know,
Yeah.
like it's incredible. Like it's.
I think we were showing off like chain blades as a new weapon or something. I can't even remember. Yeah, the game has definitely come a long way.
Let's see. Jelly Fufarino, any thoughts on going back to rework shock escalation? Now that the bar has been raised on current escalations.
That is a great point of feedback. So
Oh, he's stunned.
nice. Before I hop into that, just as like a call out, anyone can go back and revisit older escalations. So even though Umbral's the new one coming out, you can go back and play Shock and Blaze again if you wanted to farm those behemoths. And the concept of revisiting old content as we develop new content is something that we do very often as a studio. It includes new features such as Umbral Rask here, the first behemoth we ever created, and we wanted to come back to him and kind of breathe new life into him, or I should say it. It also involves weapons as well. So we've designed 7 weapon classes total in Dauntless, and with each one we learn a lot about our game. I mean, ranged combat was born out of that kind of iterative process, and talking in the community about it. And we do revisit our weapons on a pretty frequent basis, give them updates. We haven't revisited Escalation and Escalation Season yet. I think some of that is possibly due to it still being a relatively new feature. But given that we've kind of revisited several other parts of the game as we've learned and developed, I could definitely see us coming back to previous Escalation seasons.
Man, this heart meter for the behemoth, I'm really digging this a lot. I had not seen that yet.
That's a relatively new like UI update.
Yeah, that was another one kind of born out of community feedback, and players seeking just kind of more information and more feedback on their progress in the behemoth fights. We added that not too long ago.
Nice. Let's see. Zero God also asked, do you ever plan on reworking the escalation boost in a way to hold like X runes or only count time during runs? Oh, to hold like X runs or only count during runs. Every time I get the escalation boost from the hunt pass, just runs down the clock.
As opposed to time-based. It's a good point of feedback. Something we can definitely take back to the team for sure.
I gotta say, I'm impressed with the level of knowledge the stream is coming at us with.
You got fans out there. They
Yeah.
got questions.
Keep them coming.
I don't know, maybe in the interest of time, we could kind of like cheat our way towards the end of the escalation if you guys want to
Oh
see
my
tracks.
god. Cheat. Please
No,
cheat.
we can.
Yeah.
I think we can probably catch up pretty quickly. I think.
All right.
We'll see how
Yeah,
it's
Yeah, you
going.
got me.
We'll give it a chance.
Yeah.
We'll see how it's going.
You have TJ, the record Denzer.
Blake, you keep an eye on the clock and let us know if we're getting low on time.
TJ
Okay.
Esports Denzer.
You guys got about
Me too.
25 minutes, and
Oh,
you were
that's-
well on your way to
Yeah,
All
I
right.
think it took us.
Time.
crushing it.
Yeah, we were doing good. So
And
All right,
we
I'm
wanna
inviting everyone
reform
back to the party.
I mean, yeah, TJ could probably just get you there single-handedly. in
yeah,
about 10
TJ, you're
minutes.
supposed to.
Yeah, y'all
Very
just
nice,
like
my
sit
dude.
off to the side. I'll gear up my shells and
Sweet, appreciate that, man.
All
I
right.
mean, yeah.
no biggie.
All right, let's do this.
Yeah, while we wait to load in, I'll give everyone a little bit of a glimpse at the new journal too. That I really like this. We talked about this for a good
Oh,
couple
yeah.
of minutes in our preview. It's got like all the information you can expect on the behemoths after you run into them. It's got information on the different allies you'll meet in Ramsgate, the collections and combat info, stuff like that. So it's a lot of useful information in one handy place, which I really, really like.
Yeah, I'm really happy about that feature.
Yeah, it's really really good. It's really easy to work with too. Like you don't really have to jump through a whole lot of hoops to get there, like you do in some games.
I'm pretty good with my loadout.
Yeah.
Oh, I did
me
not
too.
get pulled in. Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Mm,
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I don't see you here in the
Yeah.
airship.
I saw you in the party.
Yeah, I'm still in the party. I just did not get pulled into the screen for whatever reason.
Let's see. Zyrogot had another question about Ramsgate 2.0. Will it have parkourable elements? And can you sit down on the benches?
Parkourable. That's awesome.
Yeah, new word. There are a handful of mini games, skyfishing being one of them. And I think the team has planned a couple other that are around. I don't want to call it parkour, but maybe like light racing mechanics throughout the city. Yeah.
Nice.
Maybe I'll quit out just so we can get partied up again.
Okay.
Let's see. And then Speed 6 got asked, what is the orbs that you would get from the Umbral 10 through 50? Like for Shock, we got Shock orbs, and Blaze, we got Blaze orbs. So I guess, yeah, I guess that's like what orbs, yeah, what kind of orbs can you expect to get from Umbral levels 10 through 50?
Yeah, I will double check as soon as we get loaded in. I just don't know off the top of my head.
Just a second here. I'm getting back up and running.
Yeah, same.
Technical difficulties.
And do you guys have a date for the Ramsgate renovation yet?
It's going to be in one of our summer patches. I don't think, Andy, we've dated it just yet.
No, not yet. But yeah, we'll. I think that as people start working through Call of the Void content, there'll definitely be some hints as to what's to come.
Nice.
All right, I am back in.
Same.
Man. So I gotta like, I really like these redesigns for a lot of the behemoths there. That like that neon purple radiance.
Yeah, the Umbral
What do we
variations
have?
are a lot of fun.
Yeah, is that a tribute to Prince?
If you want it to be.
Yeah.
I do. I mean, I want everything to be a tribute to Prince, though. So I'm a little biased.
All right, looks like everyone's joining up. Josh, you
I should be in. I'm in the party now.
you're good?
So.
Okay, cool. I think TJ will join, and then we'll be good, hopefully. Yeah. Fingers crossed. Third time's a charm.
Yep, got the invite. All right, cool.
All right.
All right.
I'm just gonna sit here. I'm not gonna do anything.
All
I'm just gonna sit here.
All right, let's see. Will we be able to keep playing hunts patrols without having to return to Ramsgate?
That is something that the team is working on right now. In kind of like a broader picture, less about can I do as many patrols as I want before returning, and just more creating a persistent kind of hunt experience. So whether that's patrols, pursuits, gathering missions, we want to create, I mean, basically less load screens for the player, and allow you to kind of embark on an activity and then just like really stay in the meat of it for as long as you want before having to return to Ramsgate.
Yeah, first step kind of in that direction is like you can, if you're just tuning in, you might have missed it, but you can go straight from Ramsgate to the training grounds to a hunt without having to go back to Ramsgate.
Yeah. And then escalation is really kind of the first step in that. So rather than having to hunt one behemoth and coming back to the city, you can do several hunts and gather several behemoths worth of loot.
Nice.
Yeah. So while we're kind of talking about that, like that kind of continual gameplay, we talked about this a little bit during our preview that I had, where you guys kind of showed me this stuff. But this upcoming update with the Umbra Escalation is also where you guys are kind of like kicking off your living story, like your living environment and stuff, right? So can you kind of explain that a little bit more for people that might not know much about that?
Yeah, I kind of touched on it earlier, but really for us, it's about creating a cohesive narrative throughout the world of the Shattered Isles. So rather than having a hunt pass kind of exist on its own or an escalation season exist on its own, we really want to tie it all together. And more importantly, have the events that occur in an escalation season kind of reverberate through the future of the Shattered Isles. And kind of what I mentioned earlier about maybe some potential updates to Ramsgate coming soon. The events that take place in this escalation season are going to impact the world in pretty sizable ways. This is also going to be the first escalation season that kind of evolves over time. And I don't want to spoil too much for people. I really want folks to be able to play it kind of in the wild. But this escalation season will have updates to it, kind of new gameplay elements and new story elements that happen mid-season, as opposed to it being static for the whole season.
Nice. Let's see. For the Ramsgate update, is there going to be any sort of event leading up to it?
Yep, and that's part of what I was mentioning about the living story. So events will start unfolding in this season that will set up the Ramsgate update in the future.
That's awesome. Do you guys have any plans for a vault update or anything like that?
Vault update.
Yeah, so the vault's a feature that
Nice.
nicely done. We introduced fairly recently, and we're still kind of iterating on it internally and really finding the sweet spot for it. But yeah, it's still very much actively in development right now.
Nice. And are you guys working on any other new quests at the moment?
New quests. As part of this update, there will be kind of like new weekly activities for players to do. In terms of like new quests for the main kind of like storyline in Dauntless, that's something that we're always kind of revisiting. And
Oh man.
is he already done?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, it ain't gonna take us long.
Look at that S. That's
Yeah.
a well-deserved S.
It's something that we're always kind of revisiting and iterating on.
Nice. Let's see, Zarugod. Will you ever change the airship screen into a place you can walk around in while getting ready, or anything like that? Like,
Walk around and walking around. I mean, I
like
think
five-
I think the airship lobby is something that we've kind of talked about a lot internally. Like, what is sort of like the best version of that? And I think the training island, or the training ground, sorry, is actually kind of a first step in that sort of lightweight social space for players to hang out in. That way, like, you know, you're waiting for someone to come out of a hunt or someone to log in online, you can just hop in there and kind of practice your weapon and hang out with other players while you wait for everyone to join.
let's see. Are you planning on adding any new elements, like maybe a water element in the future?
It's a good question. While I don't think we have anything specific we can share today, I think the way that we would approach something like that is we would add it if it added gameplay value to the player. So if we felt the need for there to be a seventh and, as a result, likely eighth element, we would add it. But yeah, as of right now, we don't have anything kind of active. We're going through the full shot first, right?
I
So
was.
in the zone. I kind of lost track of.
I know.
Yeah.
We got two angry behemoths to take care of.
Oh, nice. Oops.
Jesus, I'm down.
Ornery. I got you.
Oh,
Wasn't keeping an eye on my health there.
All good. I'm doing pretty okay on my potions if anyone needs to hit the Aether Vent for health this round.
Alright, he is almost done.
Last quarter. Nice. Heartbreak.
I'm done.
Got him.
Done. Alright. Oh, we have Doom Orbs. We have a lot of them.
Oh yeah, I'll go get some of them.
Alright, I'm on it.
I completely forgot about the Doom Orbs.
Yeah, all good.
Alright, I think we're good.
Yeah.
I got the last one, yeah.
Alright.
I'm gonna grab some from the Aether
Doom.
just to clean up a little bit.
Doom orbs.
Yeah, they're pretty nasty. If they explode, they'll take us all down to like 1 health.
Oh no.
Yeah. And Koshai is a fan of spawning several of them. Ooh. Andy with the clutch stagger.
You know.
No big.
Let's see. Trousador 38 asks, are there any details you can share on weapon reworks, or is it too early in development?
We can share that we're actively working on the sword. Kind of what to my earlier comment. The sword was the first weapon we designed for Dauntless, and it has changed a couple times over the years, but with each weapon we learn a ton, and we want to really apply that knowledge to each weapon. So we're working on the sword right now. Don't have a date on when that will potentially launch, but yeah, definitely actively in development.
Awesome. Hell yeah. Let's see, what else do we got here? And yeah, folks, if you're in the chat, you have questions, just keep typing them. I'm doing my best. But, you know, not all questions will get through, but I'm doing my best.
You're doing a great job, Blake.
Yeah,
Thank
you're
you.
doing
Thanks.
okay.
I really needed that. I really needed that today, you know.
All
It's
right.
just been such a deal. No, any new general maps in the future of any sort?
Yeah,
Like,
so it's been quite a while, candidly, since we've done a new island. I mean, you know, Escalation Islands aside. And there is a lot of talk inside of the office about revisiting some of our older islands, potentially giving them updates, as well as potentially doing some new ones. And I just got squad goals as my perk. So I'm
Oh
gonna
damn, I
take-
should have got that.
we got a couple
I
more.
grabbed that on my first one, so we're definitely
Nice.
building on it.
Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, and for anyone who maybe hasn't seen Escalation or has no idea what I'm talking about,
Hey, what is this?
while we do have to beat several behemoths in a row, we do get to pick a perk after each one that lasts the rest of the run. And what is this? This is a mysterious relic that I'm not going to spoil anything about.
Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, you
Spooky.
guys figure it out for yourself.
uh-huh.
I'll come back later and figure it out.
Let's see. Metalman78 says, so I'm in a guild with one of the Dauntless streamers, and we do something called guild races. I have a lot of fun with it. So does everyone else. But I was wondering if you could implement a kind of guild ranking system, where guilds either party up together or go solo and gain cups or Aether Orbs.
Oh
Some
boy.
sort.
Yeah, super cool idea. And again, like feedback like that, we love hearing it. Guilds are something that we do want to revisit in the new future and expand upon for sure.
Let's see. Caesarian asks, have there been plans on any raid events? Players collectively working towards a milestone for rewards of some sort, perhaps?
Yep, that raid style content and even potentially larger than 4 Slayer hunting parties maybe at some point. We would like to create. Oh, I am definitely on fire and out.
Yeah,
of
me too.
Good
Ugh.
combo.
I got you.
We definitely want to expand to kind of those larger like kind of, I don't want to say like server first, but you remember like server first moments in games like World of Warcraft, kind of those much larger collective efforts in the community.
I have not seen Hellion in this escalation, and it scares me.
Yes, please grab the molten orbs that I am dropping. I'm trying to hit him as much as I can.
Let's see. You guys we talked about new elements earlier, didn't we?
Yeah, we talked a little bit about it.
Yeah. Let's see. Coco Swirl is asking about the new elements that they've seen on Reddit, like Aqua and Toxic.
There's some like fan suggested elements.
Yeah. Again, nothing to confirm, or we're not actively working on a new element right now.
Look, the world is toxic enough, Coco Swirl. You don't need it in your game. It's all around you. Oh man, everyone's saying like more weapons and more elements. They know what they want.
They want more content.
Yeah.
We are.
Look at this. Look at all the new content they're getting already, though. It's incredible. This is, this right here should be enough to keep them busy for a while, right?
Yeah, but I mean, it brings up a good point. We do have dedicated teams internally to kind of all these various types of new content. So, for example, like we had a whole team dedicated to the training grounds. Oh, I just got stomped.
Yep.
We have a whole team dedicated to escalation, whole team dedicated to player combat. So we are kind of collectively all working on these things on our own teams. It's not like if we're working on Umbral Rask, we're not working on like the sword rework, for example. We've got multiple tracks working together.
Oh my god, I'm taking out some of these spitters.
We got spitters too.
Down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right.
Uh-oh.
Res you, and then I'll come.
Oh my gosh.
TJ, you still haven't gone down though, right?
No, I've been knocked a couple times.
Ah.
I have no potions.
If you do run out of potions, some of the perks we can pick up, we'll refill them and
Yes.
empower them.
Yeah, that's got to be the hardest part because I like this game. I like Dauntless a lot, but let's face it, I use up almost all my potions just on one hunt. So I would be screwed in this scenario without some sort of way to magically get back my potions. So I'm glad to hear that's there.
Yeah.
Oh, I might go down.
That is a
Oh, no.
lot of fire.
Yeah, there's a lot
Yeah,
of fire.
Hellion's really taking it to us.
Yep, I'm down. I burned to death.
Let's see if I can get
I
you.
need you to stop taking it to us, Hellion.
Yeah. We're about.
You got a tough one
halfway
here.
Through. Yeah, he's a toughie.
And guys, unfortunately we're closing in on the end of our hour here. So let's see, we got about 5 minutes. I want to see you beat this Hellion
I
in
think
that
we can
next
do
5 minutes. But in the meantime, do you guys have any closing words or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, Call of the Void comes out on June 11th, so just a couple days away. I know a lot of folks in chat are already on our website and on our roadmap, but if you're new to the Dauntless community, we do have a development roadmap that's on our website. So all the latest and greatest, a lot of answers to the questions that came up are there as well. And yeah, thanks for having us, man. This was super fun.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
appreciate you letting us join.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No, we're more than happy to have you guys. Dauntless, where can folks go if they want to get into the world of Dauntless? If they
Yeah.
want to be
Yeah, head
Part of
to playdauntless.com. That's also our social handles. So Twitter, Insta, Facebook, you can find us there as well. And we're out on PC, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One with full cross-play and cross-progression. So you can play with anyone on any platform, and you can carry over your progress and your saves from any platform.
And it's totally
my
free to
God.
play.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. I'm just gonna take a moment to personally thank you for crossplay because
We got him.
It's great. All right, fantastic.
Yeah.
We did
oh
it.
man, congratulations! Like yeah, crossplay. It's to me, it's the way of the future, and to see it integrated so perfectly, so exactly what I want from several other games.
Thanks, man.
You know, like yeah, thank you guys for doing it for crossplay.
Thank you.
Well, there we go. Let's see. So yeah, Josh, I'll let you take it on home, baby. This is your
Yeah.
stream.
Yeah, we got. How many is that we've slain? What do we have next?
We have another dual behemoth fight
have
after
another
this
dual behemoth?
before Thrax.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well. All right.
Yeah. If you guys wanna cheat and maybe give people a sneak peek at Thrax
Yeah.
Yeah,
why
we
don't
can do that.
Yeah, why
before
don't
the
we do
hour
that?
wraps up, we got 3 minutes here. No pressure.
Yeah.
No pressure. Just a few minutes left, but maybe yeah, we can just sort of.
Andy's a pro.
I'll do that.
He can get through
Yeah.
these guys really quick.
Yeah.
Everyone, avert your eyes.
Yeah. Don't look, guys.
Yeah.
Look at, oh man, look at the
Whoa.
detail on this rock. Oh wow, we're so good. Oh,
Oh my
so good.
gosh, that was tough.
What I missed.
Nothing.
Nothing. We
Absolutely
did it. We
nothing.
did it.
All right. Hopefully you get a potion refill here.
Oh,
Well,
shadow dodge.
I got another squad goal, so I'm popping it.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
All right,
Here we go, guys.
Thrax.
This is the big boy. This is the big boy.
Yeah.
I'm so excited
Yeah.
about this behemoth, man. I had so much fun fighting him last time. The design is just so good.
Oh my God, this portal is fantastic.
Man. So when have you guys thought about doing like concerts or anything like that?
Yeah,
A Thrax
called,
concert.
I called Travis Scott, but he didn't pick up the phone. I don't know what's going on.
What the hell? You need to find another artist with 2 first names. Look at this guy. Oh my God.
I know, dude.
He's like an electric eel with legs.
It's fantastic.
Love it. That's such a cool design.
Yeah, his vocalizations are my favorite. It's like he laughs at you every time you try to attack him.
He sounds evil. He just sounds evil, man. It's great.
Oh man. That's awesome. That is some coolness right there. And if you're watching at home, how soon are they going to be able to take on Thrax?
He'll be available on June 11th in the hard version of Escalation, provided you can get your score high enough. But yep, he'll be in the game day 1 when the patch launches, and he comes complete with his own armor set and legendary weapon moves like the previous 2 Escalation bosses.
Fantastic.
Oh, awesome. So you have to take him on a few times in order to get that collection, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
That's just gonna be handed to you all at once.
yeah.
Nice.
You'll unlock the set the first time you encounter him, and then yeah, it'll probably take a handful of runs to get the materials you need to craft it.
Oh, and we're all going down.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's just amazing to me
Well-
how smooth he moves.
Oh my
You guys
God.
did such a good job with the design. Like he moves so smoothly.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate you saying that.
Yeah. Well, speaking of things running smoothly, we are
Yeah.
gonna have to wrap it up here because we're gonna be launching a new show right now, a brand new show that's gonna be a regular feature here on Shacknews. I'm not sure if it'll be on the Twitch channel or just on the website, but Josh, you're involved in this.
I am
This is
involved
kind
in
of your
this.
thing.
I am. I'm very excited about this. It's a show that Asif and I have been talking about for a long time. And it's just kind of, I'm just going to let the show speak for itself. So we're going to go ahead and we'll cut to that. And
Well, thanks for having us,
Don't worry,
guys.
guys.
Really
Yeah.
appreciate
Yeah, it was
it.
really fun.
Yeah, Call of
Yeah.
the Void comes out on Thursday. Hope you all check it out.
Yeah, if you haven't checked out Dauntless yet, you really need to do that. You're only doing yourself a disservice by not playing it.
you are. It's
Thanks,
great.
Blake.
It's fantastic. All right. And that's the end. Thanks again, guys.